All right, everyone. Thanks for holding tight. Finally here, just about 13 minutes late, but as always, better late than never. And I want to thank my main moderator, Ramina, as always, for all the help behind the scenes. And I seen her turn off the that thing there. Okay, let's take a look here. And thanks, hon. I appreciate the love and the hearts and all the help and support throughout the years. Greatly appreciated. Can't thank you enough for that. And also everybody else here. Svetoslav, great to see you in there. Thanks so much. Take your time, RV. I appreciate that so very much. Let's see who else we have in here before we get started. And actually, I shouldn't mention, in about 3 hours, I'm going to be on with my very good brother on his channel, Flat Earth Banjo. Obviously, the Brazilian that lives in Japan will be talking, obviously, Flat Earth. So that's going to tell you right there how long, basically, this stream's going to go. All right, let's see what else we have in here. Infinite Ammo, great to see you in there, brother. Long-time supporter, been around for a very long time. Let's see who else we have in here. A lot of people, great to see that. Thanks so much, El Despertar Ramina. I greatly appreciate you once again. And my great brother there in the UK, Black Circle, welcome back, RV. Thanks so much. And I know you always request the live streams. And yeah, it's been a while, but I've been very busy with my personal life. You know, this is not a job, obviously. This is something I do when I have free time. And unfortunately, I don't have as much time as I used to. So that's why I don't do as much live streams. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I don't do this for a living. I'm not scheduled to do this, 3-4 times a week. It's been literally months since my last live stream. Again, this is something I do on the side. It's not my job. Let's take a look here. But again, this is my passion. I obviously still put up videos, new ones, in combination with older ones. And obviously I've been mixing a lot of old with the new. Lately I've been putting a lot of new material out there. So it's just when I get time. And great to see my brother Ben in Australia. Great supporter here on YouTube and also on Twitter. Greatly appreciate your support. God bless you, brother. And an awesome mate in the UK, Plain Stevie. Always has my back. Always great supporter. Always when there's issues with others, you always have my back, and that's greatly appreciated. There's a lot of people out there that, for whatever reason, they have issues, and that mostly stems from jealousy. Nobody follows them. Nobody cares about what they put out. They don't put anything out relative, and they're a bit butthurt, and that's their problem, not mine. So, you always have my back, and I appreciate that so very much. And also, I see Richard Wetton in there as well. Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate that. And I see you there, Josh Stone. Thanks so much for the kind words. And let's see what else we have here. And Mr. Weekwell, great to see you in there. A lot of people here, like I said. No, brother, thank you, man. I appreciate you so very much. I appreciate you so very much. And Mason Tricks, great to see you in there. Let me scroll up here. And Cyrus Carter, glad you're back on. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that so very much. And Big Lou, another guy that's been around for a very long time. And I'm very humbled by that. Very humbled. And another great brother in Australia, Frank Censored, been around for a long time and also shared my videos. Appreciate that. And also Marco Champagne, very opinionated, which I really don't have a problem with. Don't have a problem with that. Sometimes you agree, sometimes you disagree. That's fine, as long as it's kept civil. I really don't mind that. We should. I definitely don't want to be a cult leader. Like someone like Dell. It's his way or the highway. We don't have to agree on everything. Here's a big thing, and I'll say it right now. I have talks with Ramina about certain things, and we have disagreements behind the scenes about things. And there's times where she told me things, and I'm like, yeah, she's right. I was very firm on my stance on certain things, but I go where the truth brings me, not where I want it to be. We're No one's beyond correction. We're all human. Some people put their voice out there. Some people don't. Some people don't want to be on YouTube making videos, doing live streams. It's not for them. So I don't, just because someone might be, for example, they have 0 subs. If they say something, and if someone has 100,000 subs, and that person with 0 subs says something that's truth, that's the amount of subs don't matter. We're all equal as humans, and we all should go where the truth brings us, and put our ego on the shelf. And great to see in there also Freed Marine, another longtime supporter. Great to see in there, and happy holiday to you as well. And we should know what holiday means. The etymology is holiday is holy day. So we always have to look at all the words, and there's definitely a background. We'll get into that a little bit later on. And let's see what we got in here before we get started. All right. Oh, Chris Dugan in the UK, another longtime supporter. Great to see you in there. Harold Backer, great to see you in there as well. Not sorry, Marlon, great to see you in there as well. I saw you hashtag Flat Earth, which is, I'm not going to disagree with that. Doing Flat Earth videos since 2015, absolutely. All right, let's see what we got in here. And on Talco, great to see you in there. Mr. Lee. And I see a Toei in there. Great to see you in there. And I see That's Life, but Not As We Know, putting out great content as always on his channel. Definitely subscribe to That's Life, but Not As We Know its channel. Definitely a well-deserved subscribe to channel. And Daryl Dessa, longtime supporter. And that's what we got in here before we get started. And God bless you, Jack Burton. Great to see you in there. And definitely, I'll just stop right here and pause for a second. And definitely, for those that denied the creator, the biblical creator in Jesus Christ, this is definitely the wrong channel for you. I don't care what channels out there put great information about flat earth or this or that. If you deny the biblical creator in Jesus Christ, you're lost. And if you're following people that deny Jesus Christ and the creator that's in the Bible, God, you're, all the truth in this world is not going to save your soul, flat earth or whatever it may be. So just get that right. If you don't get that part right, then, it's all for naught. And that's the truth. And Felix C., great to see you in there as well. Putting out some good comments in the comment section. Another longtime follower is Mr. Anderson with a different avatar. And New Zealand in the house. And myself, great to see you in there. And let's see what else we have here. Javier in Spain. Great to see you in there, Javier. Thanks for joining in from Spain. And we're going to see what else we got in here as well. Let's see what else we got here is Owen Moore, I believe in the UK as well. Great to see you in there. All right. Andrew McNeil, sorry about the long delay, but better late than never. I'm just very busy. And I also should thank my very good brother in France, David Bertrand, as well. He's been asking me when I'm going to go live. And I told him about, 3 weeks ago, I'd go live soon. It's, a little bit longer than expected, but hey, doing the best I can. And I appreciate your patience as well, Andrew. I greatly appreciate it. God bless you, brother. And Bratislav in Germany, great to see you in there. And let's see here. Not sorry in South Carolina, good to see you in there once again. Pingu 33 in Norway. And let's see who else here we got here before we get to it. And Chris Toffer, longtime supporter as well. Great to see you in there. Great to see you in there as well, Jane. And Stevie's Happy Little Trees. We know what that means. Great to see you in there as well. Johnny Blaze. And there's a few others in here as well. And Badger, yeah, sorry about that. 4 months, it's been a long time. I'm going to try to get back on it more often. I'm not going to do my best. It won't be another 4 months until the next one. I'll do my best that doesn't happen. At least, do a stream for an hour, 2 hours. Just try to fit it in. Yeah, Marshall, you have to hold tight on that. I'll get to that when I get to it. And also another great supporter there, Trace Young. Flat Earth Warriors, another great channel on YouTube. A lot of good information. Actually, he knows this. I used bits and pieces from his research. And, I definitely give credit where credit's due when people, because my eyes I can't be everywhere. I only have 2 eyes. So definitely the Flat Earth Warriors does great research and definitely helps out. And Philip, definitely, my brother in Moscow, definitely will do another live stream on your channel, hopefully soon. And yeah, I'm not sure about the email situation, but I'll dig through the old emails and see what's going on. I'm not sure why that's an issue. And Ryan, good to see you in there as well. And I believe, let's see, let's scroll down here. We'll get to, like I said, we're going to get to the information relatively quickly here. I've been going on for about only 10 minutes, but I want to get to the information. Like I said, I'm going to be streaming with Flat Earth Banjo at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I believe that's about 1 in the morning in the UK. I'm not sure if people can stay up for that, but anyways. And Menno Mitch, great to see you in there, brother. Good to see you in there. You made it to the stream. And the greatest story ever told. Good morning to you, brother, as well. All right. And I see Steve 071 and Mark AV in NorCal. And Jay Steele, a long time supporter of the channel. Greatly appreciate you, brother, so very much for tuning in. And I take the time to shout everybody out. I don't like the fact, I'm shouting out, a lot of people, and some people might feel left out. That's just me. And if I miss 1 or 2 people out there, I apologize, but I'm trying to get everybody I can. And here's another great one here in Spain, Charlie Girl. Definitely appreciate you so very much sharing my work on BitChute. Thanks so much for that. I greatly appreciate it. All right, and here we go. 76 Mark, another longtime supporter. And Hex 6326 IW. And Freedom for All from Phuket, Thailand. Good to see you in there. And hopefully you're enjoying some of those delicious mangoes from Thailand. I know Thailand has amazing mangoes. I'm all about mangoes. So I actually have some Thai mangoes. So I really enjoy it. I have this one called Moon Kun Si, and it literally tastes like honey and flowers. It's unbelievable. It's just out of this world, something you're never going to find in the stores in the US. You got to grow it yourself. All right, let's see what we got here. And Craig Tolson, praise Yeshua. Let's see what we got in here. And that's an interesting name, Vegan Skeletons. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And here we go with RJ Money. The guy's been around for a very long time. And I pretty much, thanks so much for that. I'm glad I kept scrolling up. Cyrus Carter, I greatly appreciate that. So very much. Great to hear you back. Absolutely. Thanks so much once again. I'm glad I'm scrolling up, so I'm missing some people here. Like a tremendous supporter for the longest time is Erica Hart. It's been around forever and ever, and I greatly appreciate you as a Patreon and a supporter for the longest time. And I saw this comment by CMCG regarding my video on Dell and the ridiculous, rocketing flat Earth model. Absolutely garbage. All right, and Raleigh Art, great to see you in there. And thanks so much for sharing that, Romina, with my Twitter page. All right, and thanks for that, Marco. I appreciate that. Yeah, we no two people are going to agree on everything. That's a definite fact. As long as we're on the same page on most things, that's what it comes down to. And thanks, great to see you in there, the Buzz Dev. Yeah, and for one, nobody knows everything. That's the fact. And yeah, and that the problem is people put up a brick wall. For example, a lot of these people that do live streams and they feel like they're beyond correction and they're well researched. Well, I don't. I look at it this way. I do my own research, and people come across video footage or things I haven't seen before. So again, like you just said, nobody knows it all. And here's the thing: is over the years I made videos from help from my subscribers. They find little tidbits from movies that I never seen that I use for video production. So yeah, there you go. So again, that's a fact. Let me scroll up a little bit more, make sure I didn't miss anything. Another longtime supporter, Alex T. I know some people are like, "Oh, get to the information." Enough with the shout outs. But here's the thing: is it's my channel, and I want to give thanks to those that support me. And here's another one here, Andre in Ontario, Canada, and I want to thank you for that super chat on my video on Dell. And definitely, if I haven't, I believe I pinned. If I haven't, I'm going to pin that comment you made about basically, obviously we know gravity is a hoax, but you really laid it out there very well, very articulate. Basically, how things work in this world. And for example, in the sky, why do clouds, hover? Because it's the same density as basically the air it's in. Things that are lighter are going to basically go up. Things that are heavy are going to drop. But that's why clouds basically stay in the sky. It's the same basic weight as the quote atmosphere. We don't say sphere, the atmos plane. And you really summed it up, and I couldn't have said it better. So definitely check under the video. Beyond is titled Dell Beyond the Imaginary Pushing Up of of Earth. It's upwards Earth. But yeah, definitely take a look at that. And that's a great post there. That you really hit it out of the park with that one. And thanks for that as well as far as the super. And Robin McIntosh, good to see you there. Thanks so much for that. And I'm going to get started pretty soon. People are going to, they're waiting for me to get to the information. A lot of things here. And yeah, let's get to it momentarily. I'm going to get to that. And good to see you in there. Also, Captain Mojo. Yeah, that's definitely the truth. Yeah, and yeah, rest in heaven, superstar Billy Graham, a pro wrestler that unfortunately passed away. For those that don't know, superstar Billy Graham, a lot of wrestlers such as Hulk Hogan, Scott Steiner, and others, they patterned themselves after superstar Billy Graham. You can actually just Google superstar Billy Graham and Arnold Schwarzenegger side by side from back in the 70s. And yeah, he was on Facebook, and a really good guy, really down to earth. And he was a huge name in pro wrestling for many years. And Susan Donahue, good afternoon from the San Francisco coast. Great to see you in there. Yeah, thanks for that, brother. I appreciate that, Daryl Dessa. And Corey, thanks so much for that. I appreciate it. And I'm definitely going to get started very, very soon here. And Pat Fitz from England, UK, thanks for checking up. And Rebecca Ringler as well. Absolutely, I agree on that. And Steve B in Lincolnshire, North Lincolnshire there in the UK. And also I see here Girl Saved by Grace. And I got to stop there because I'll spend the whole live stream naming out names. It's already been 20 minutes. So I apologize for anybody I haven't named out. So sorry for that. Oh, Charles, I just saw that. Not a fan of Dell. He's lost his mind. Is embarrassing. Yeah, absolutely. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And here's the thing is I'm so glad I didn't click off and I saw that comment, Charles, because this is the theme over the years, what I've seen with so-called truthers that are not legit. They'll give you an abundance of good information in the beginning. They'll present themselves very well in the beginning to pull you in their nets. And the strategy is to get as many people. It's like, I don't want to use this analogy, but like a fisherman. You don't pull the net when there's only 2 or 3 fish in there. You wait till you have many. And that's what he's done. He's corralled a good amount of people. And a lot of these people are, they know how Dell is. You got to go along with Dell. If not, he'll just he doesn't care. He'll just if you're a follower for 5-6 years and you go off and you go against anything he says in the chat, he will ring you out. And so he keeps people in line that way through intimidation, basically being a bully. So that's the theme. And then here comes the nonsense. So what I tell people is this: it takes time to know people. You cannot judge someone a book by its cover. You got to keep people at task. You got to make sure they maintain and they're consistent over time. Once someone, for example, a Bible believer, for example, and they're giving you solid foundational things from the Bible, and all of a sudden they deviate from the Bible, well, you got to deviate off course too and drop them. You got to hold everybody accountable, and not just like, well, you know what? I've been watching so-and-so for X amount of years, so I'm just going to keep listening to them, even though they're deviating completely. And that's what you need. Everybody needs to do. Keep everybody at task, and that's the way to do it. I said I was going to go to the screen share, but 1 second here. Thanks so much for that, Mr. Weekwell. I greatly appreciate that. Thanks so much for the support. And let's see what else we got here. We got a few other people. Ryan was waiting in there. I saw that in the chat. And thanks so much once again, Ramina. I greatly appreciate that. All right, a few more, and then we'll definitely get going here. Okay, Soul Warrior, you're the last one that gets a. I saved the best for last. Soul Warrior, great support of the channel, always commenting under the videos. So, I apologize. I'm gonna. Oh, by the way, Ryan, Iverson from South Africa, great to see you in there as well. So I'm gonna start with the screen share, and there's definitely a lot to cover, and let me get to it here. Just hold tight, everyone. And I want to make this perfectly clear. When I'm in the screen share aspect, I'm not looking at the chat. So Ramina's and other moderators are going to be watching what's going on. I don't see it. So I apologize. I don't see what anybody's saying while I'm in the screen share side of things. So just be aware of that, please. And let's get right to it with the presentation aspect from Streamer. Let me get this going here. All right, let's go to share screen. And let me see here what we got. Where is it here? I don't see it. Okay, let's see here. All right, there we go. That should be showing up. And I'm going to make sure, I got to make sure it's presenting. And looks like it is. And I have to, unfortunately, remove that, Ryan, so everybody can see everything clearly. Again, thanks so much. All right, there we go. All right, so like I said, let me get here on this side here. So like I said, I'm going to be speaking with, as you see here, Flat Earth Banjo, Brazilian living in Japan. And this screenshot here is from my very first live stream on this channel. And he, in this very first live stream, Eddie Flat Earth Banjo divulged tremendous information. And we'll get to that right now, actually. So definitely, after the stream's over, definitely go over to Flat Earth Banjo's channel. And I'm going to continue with him, like I said. And basically, Eddie has a degree in emergency management, and he knows a lot about how airplanes work. Obviously, his book, Emergency Flights That Prove the Flat Earth. He's very well versed in flat Earth, obviously. So what I'm getting at here is, just quickly for those that don't know, there was an earthquake down in Chile years ago. And if you can see here, hopefully you guys can see that properly. I want to make sure, actually, I want to make sure it's presenting properly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, just want to double check on that. So there was a tsunami that obviously that was started from the initial earthquake in Chile. It was a very large earthquake. I forgot the magnitude. But anyways, so this is what happened. There were tsunamis in Southeast Asia, all the way up to Japan. So when you look at the ridiculous fake, phony, baloney, ball earth. So imagine you have, again, the earthquake in Chile, and it goes all the way up, the ball earth, past the equator, all the way up. That makes no sense. Just like I shown with this image here, the tsunami did not go and wrap around the so-called bottom of the earth with Antarctica on the fake, phony globe. It all went up there. It does not make sense whatsoever. So that's just obviously another great piece of information from Flat Earth Banjo, disproving the fake, phony globe. And here's an actual quote. I'm not actual, but supposed actual, footage from space. This still shot of South America. So to believe, a tsunami created by an earthquake went all the way up and didn't wrap around Antarctica, absolutely ridiculous. And so definitely, that's coming up in about 2.5 hours or so, less than 2.5 hours. I'll be speaking with Flat Earth Banjo on his channel, and definitely subscribe to him if you haven't already. And you can simply, obviously, just go to YouTube on the search and type in Flat Earth Banjo, and there you're going to see Eddie's channel. And now, this is very important. Just like my last video, if you haven't seen it on Dell from Beyond the Imaginary Upwards Earth, there's other aspects I've covered, in recently. And one is, as you see here, is Stu Peters, who's done productions. Let me get to it here. Who's done productions with AJ. And we know what those initials stand for. And here you see him with Wimpy Weiss. So there's going to be people on this side of the spectrum that are going to give you some truth. And I greatly, even though I know Stu Peters, basically comes out of nowhere, has a career in the entertainment industry, being a rapper, and the lyrics were obviously very risque, not something I would repeat here. If you haven't seen that video, but I greatly appreciate, nonetheless, what Stu Peters tells Wimpy Weiss during this segment with this interview on a Stu Peters channel here. Let's take a listen. And even though I, controlled up or whatever, I really like what he says to Wimpy Weiss, when Wimpy Weiss basically tells people you don't need the Bible. So again, there's going to be different levels of truth being put out there. And Wimpy Weiss has this deer in headlights, stupid look on his face. And let's take a listen.
You don't need it. If you're not a biblical person, you don't need
that. Yes, you do need it. And you better get to be, and you better get to know Jesus, because the Bible actually says, God actually says there's a firmament, water above, water below. He references that the earth is flat. And
look at that stupid look on Wimpy Weiss's face, always trying to turn people away from Jesus Christ, from the Bible, and this guy's absolutely absurd. Anybody that follows him, you're an idiot. Let me just put it that way. That's being kind. I'm being very kind. This guy's a deceiver, to put it mildly, and I can't stand him. Can't stand him. He's out for himself. I showed video footage of him saying to Robbie Davidson saying things like, "Oh, it's fantastic what you're doing, David Weiss. It's great what you're doing, and how do you feel about people coming up to you and thanking you for your work?" And he goes, "Oh, that's fine and all, but I'm really doing this for myself and for my kids. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it for myself." Wow, he just puts it right out there. So, anyways, whatever with Stu Peters, I greatly appreciate, him setting Wimpy Weiss straight about the Bible and Jesus Christ. But this is a constant theme with their whole crew, Jaron and all. They're always, mocking the Bible, and that says it all right there. So they give you one piece of truth, then they're going to give you a lies, obviously, and that's the pattern of a lot of these people. And we'll definitely get into Jaron a little bit, but just more characters that I have exposed as clowns, absolute circus clowns. And here's another one, Fake Jake, with the Photoshop head on a jersey number 33 in Mount Powerland. These two buddies, and I'm sure, quote, more than buddies, because we know about Powerland's past and making spicy movies with other men. So it's funny how these two connected. This might be a bit much. I also seen men make comments to Fake Jake in the comments saying, "Hey, I think you're cute," and he's trying to get their information also. That tells you there's something going on. And obviously the dual 33s, the orange shirt as well. Yeah. And what I'm getting at here is Fake Jake doesn't do any research. His research is watching other people's work, and he just repackages it just like Wimpy Weiss. So he tries to debunk the biblical flat earth, the circling sun. And this is from a video from back in 2015 that a Glober make that he took as his own, banking on the gullible followers not knowing this. But there was a guy on YouTube back in 2015, 2016 talking about how the sun basically from Australia goes southeast or southwest, and it cannot be a circling sun, in which I've demonstrated, and I've had nobody debunk this. And like I showed my last video with Dell, how the tropical zone, and this is obviously the fake phony globe model, but basically the equatorial region, how the sun runs through it. And obviously it works perfectly, with coconut trees, any type of tropical plants that only grow in this region. That proves right there. The heat alone proves the circling sun. And you can look at the sun and, oh, it does this, it does that. But the heat alone proves it between the sun that circles above, between the two tropics of Cancer, and obviously the equatorial region. So I've heard people dispute this, but no one's made a video debunking this because it can't be debunked. And again, this is Fake Jake taking from somebody else because he has no original work. Nothing he's put out has been original. It's been repackaged. And he took this from someone else, never thought about how you have, for example, coconut palms that only grow in the circular region, and this is absolutely ridiculous. So he doesn't put any thought in anything. There's nothing from him, again, is original. It's just taken from others, not putting thought into it. And because it's presented, quote, in his mind, well, it must be true. But he's not thoroughly thinking because he's not a researcher. He's a thief of information and just repackaging things. And that gets into people like a Witsit, who's in the same boat with Jaron. So again, getting back to Wimpy Weiss, like I mentioned, these people deny the Bible, they deny Jesus Christ. And this is huge with Jaron. There's a little bit blurry here, this where he obviously denies the Bible, denies the creator of the Bible, but he promotes people like this, who he claims is an independent artist, and he just constantly promotes this guy McDonald. And everything he's doing just tells you all. So, it's basically in the same line of the people that run this world, anti-God, obviously. And what's Jaron doing? He's promoting people like this. And take a look here in the blinded in the right eye. This is someone Jaron's promoting. If you're a believer, if you're a Bible believer, a believer in Jesus Christ, and you follow Jaron, and and what he promotes, you're lost. You're definitely lost. And here's, Jaron says, "Oh, he's an independent artist. He's not signed with a major label." Well, this individual does these Masonic hand poses as well. And this one tour, this one album, the Hell Love It tour. And for those that know anything about Freemasonry, this is a very Masonic hand pose. This is not just some amazing coincidence. They speak through symbolism, just like you see here with Michael Jackson's Doc holding with one hand holding the elbow. And here's a Mason in the lodge. So again, understanding how they communicate through symbolism. So that gets into what I shown before with the Goon Squad, the fake flat earthers. And when they're doing this, the symbol for quote flat earth, it's really this symbol which comes from the Masonic Lodge. And they're mocking flat earthers. Again, they're controlling both sides of each debate. They've been doing this forever. As I showed before, ODD TV doing the Masonic pyramid, the guy wearing the Masonic t-shirt. Showed this before, but it's very relevant. So we're going to get into Dell. We're going to get into Eric Dubay in a bit, and also some other characters as well from A Level With Me. So again, people are just writing this off. It doesn't mean anything when they do Masonic hand signs. But when it applies to celebrities, they point it out. So these are Masonic symbolism, for example, with Will Smith, and they'll admit to that. But when their favorite fake truthers do it, they just write off. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, so I want to be very clear about that. And also with Wimpy Weiss and the ladder symbolism, and yeah, just like here with James Cameron on the set of the filming of Titanic with the orange ladder. This is ascending, of course, and I've covered this many times. So I'm running right past it relatively quickly. Now, one thing I want to mention moving forward here is Bart Sibrel, who I've done a couple, obviously, live streams with. We agree on a lot. We disagree on a lot as well when it comes to flat Earth. And this is the case where I believe Bart is, stuck, and it's like I said before, with like clay. When you shape and form clay, it's static. It cannot be altered once it's firm. And that's definitely the case with Bart. And when I asked him about what the firmament is, he says, well, it doesn't matter. The important thing is Jesus Christ, the Bible, which I agree. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the same turn, he confronts astronauts and what they're doing, with NASA being fraudulent. Well, what if someone that's a believer says, what does it matter, Bart, if they're faking space or not? So that's in the same realm. And of course, there's many reasons why they're doing it. They're hiding God, the financial aspect. There's so much more to it. The up and coming potential fake alien invasion, so much more. That's why they need their deep space. So one aspect I would really want to mention quickly again regarding Bart, and this absolutely drove me nuts, because after having that live stream with Bart, a lot of people are saying, I don't understand why you're putting this video up. It was my very first video, basically putting out, questioning Bart Sibrel, how we can interview all these astronauts and, obviously go in their homes, and, one astronaut doesn't call the other and say, hey, there's this guy, Bart Sibrel, don't do interviews with him because he's coming on false pretenses. So don't let him in your home. So Bart went from astronaut to astronaut to astronaut's home. And this is what this video is about. But what I'm getting at is, after that live stream with Bart, I put this, as you see here, right in the beginning of the video. And it says here, this is the video I created years ago that Bart Sibrel viewed that created a dialogue between us. So people didn't read this. It's right there, in print. So I had about 15 or 20 comments underneath. They're like, I don't understand. Well, you just did a live stream with Bart Sibrel, and you guys were on pretty good terms. Why would you put that video up? Again, it states it right in the screen, it's in context of why I put this out there. It's what created the dialogue between Bart and I. And it drew me absolutely bananas that people didn't read, this, what I put in the video before I put the my older video out. So it's on the same, it's on the channel right now. And again, people just don't read, and I have to respond to these people. And again, it drove me absolutely bananas. So moving forward, videos I'm going to put out from the past that I made long ago. Here is Joe France in a video I made back, was it 2015 or 2016, on this one movie he directed, produced, and obviously acted in, called The Ming Hags, with the flat earth model in the back. He's talking to a student here, telling him he's uneducated. Well, they show the flat earth model in the back and it says Science 101. And like I said, he saw it. We end up doing, I end up interviewing him. And here's actually the clip. And it's kind of hard to see here, but you can see it better in the actual video. It says Science 101. And here is the flat earth model. And I'll just give a little spoiler to our interview for those that haven't seen it. Basically, I asked him, how did this happen? How did this, flat earth model end up on the back, in this scene in the movie? He stated that it was some random person that he just had a conversation with, and he told me he's making a movie at this one school. And he goes, "Oh, that's nice to know. How about, if I donate some money and I can add something to your movie?" Well, that's coming from Joe France himself. So that's the backstory with that. So that's something I'm going to re-upload, the interview with Joe France. And obviously he was part of the Jackass crew on MTV. And also this one with TLC, and a very important screenshot I have. And this is their very first concert with, what's his name? MC Hammer, and they're getting their big break. And on stage, obviously they're just Muppets, puppets. And it says here, "Look who running things." And there's an arrow pointing to the all-seeing eye, basically the one that's controlling things from behind the scenes, that's manipulating everything. And these people, they don't know. They're just sellouts. They want to make a buck. They want to be famous, and they have no idea. So one thing needs to be understood, they're just creations. And also the left eye, Lopez, blinded in the right eye. So looking through the left eye and not being able to see through the right. So it's another video I'm going to put out, re-upload. The one on Billy Idol, where I confronted him on Twitter about many things with symbolism, and he tried to deny it. What was it? The lightning bolt with the crown on top, and obviously he was in defense mode when I put it out there because it was spot on. And also too, I mentioned to him at the end of one of his music videos on VHS, it said at the very end, the credits, produced by D-Man, that's D-E-M-A-N-N, D-Man Entertainment. So there you go. There's a lot of clues in there, but that's a couple right there. And we're going to move forward here to what's in the title of this live stream. Let me take a quick peek and quick look here, make sure everything's presenting properly. Okay, we're looking good here. And let's get to it here. Back to the screenshot aspect. Okay, so there's this production with Level With Me, with the whole crew, Wimpy Weiss and Flat Earth Millionaire, as you see here, doing the Masonic hand sign. Millionaire in numerology is 33. And take a listen here. I'm just going to play a little bit. You guys can watch the whole thing. A lot of it is old info, some good information, no doubt whatsoever. They're not going to, obviously, just put out garbage. There's good info in there as well. I'm not going to deny that. But then they put out disinfo like this. Let's take a listen to this one short clip here by Flat Earth Millionaire. Let me back up here. So you just saw him there with the Masonic hand pose right here. So that, like I said, they speak through signs and symbols, no doubt whatsoever. Let's take a listen to what he says here, and really pushing the agenda. One thing they're not pushing is Jesus Christ or the biblical creator. The biblical creators, obviously, this is what this world's all about. And they're deviating fully from that. And they're definitely pushing other lands. Instead of promoting the creator, they're pushing other lands. That's their big agenda. That's their propaganda. Let's take a listen to what Flat Earth Millionaire says here.
If it's Project Bluebeam, just know that these crafts are not coming from outer space in the magical vacuum of floating balls. They're coming from outer space, not up.
So how can you prove that? Have you seen a so-called UFO fly over the ice wall with your own eyes? So he's promoting this like this is fact. And heavily this is being promoted. And this is where I have issues. I don't like people pulling things out of thin air, and obviously a lot of these craft can come from military bases. So he's promoting this outer space. And I said it before, the fantasy is always better than the reality. And that's what captures people. And obviously, like I said, he has no evidence of these so-called craft coming from outer space, from other worlds beyond the ice wall. Let's continue on here a little bit more.
Upper space. They're coming from outer space.
No evidence.
The extraterrestrials are coming from outer space. So just know they're not coming from up there. There's a firmament. They're showing you on the daily rockets bouncing off of it like water.
So speaking the truth there. So again, the mixing of truth and lies, like I said, but he basically repeated himself, 3 or 4 times talking about outer space being beyond the ice wall. So yeah, that's just, 100% propaganda and not really talking about, obviously, the creator. And again, the Masonic hand sign, they always out themselves. And this is another aspect, and I need to play this. Okay, this individual here, his name is, what was it? Justin Harvey, I believe is his name. Justin Harvey. So he's in front of Brevard County Commission in Florida. And, again, I like a lot what he puts out on his channel. The guy's very well spoken, of course. He is head of We Are Change Orlando, which is affiliated, of course. And let me just actually take this off momentarily, because I need to show this. So who started We Are Change, this, or who is the leader now? I believe there was an individual that actually started, who handed over to Luke Rodkowski here. And look who's affiliated with. So you follow the chain here with AJ in the back. You have a clown over here as well, the Joker. But this is the basically the head of We Are Change. So again, just follow. It's like they say, follow the money. We'll follow the leader or so-called leaders and the head of the snake here with We Are Change. But let's get back here to what I'm getting at. I'll play a very small portion. And again, people are looking for heroes, but they don't look at the background. We'll definitely get to Eddie Bravo a little bit later. But I'll let everybody listen to what he says here. And again, they're gonna give you good information. But what I highly recommend to everybody is look at these people's background, which we'll get into more later on. But just don't listen to a person. This person's putting out good information, but what's his background? What's he about? You got to dig a little deeper, and that's what I do. And we'll get into that a little bit. But let's take a listen to what Justin Harvey says, again, in front of the Brevard County Commission. And I don't have a problem with what he's saying here, but let's just play it and I'll continue.
Clear evidence of NASA using numerous methods to grossly mislead the public about astronauts being on the International Space Station. During interior ISS scenes from NASA's own live feed, the use of wires, harnesses, green screens, and virtual reality have been detected to achieve the appearance of a weightless environment.
So there you go. He's speaking of some real good truth there in front of Brevard County Commission. But let's take a look here. And actually, I need to stop momentarily here. I'm going to have to stop sharing. So I'm going to go to his, and let me actually do something here. Just hold tight, everyone. Just hold tight. And actually, I see, oh, perfect time here. Thanks so much. I want to just thank my great brother here about business. 1 second, everybody. Let me just pause here. I have to take the time to do this because I greatly appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much. Great support of the channel. obviously also a moderator, has been around for a tremendous amount of time. Thanks so much for that, brother. And let me get here. Just hold tight, everyone. I need to do something very quickly. It'll be momentarily here. Hold tight. So I need to go to Justin Harvey's YouTube channel, and I'm going to show some interesting aspects, some good and obviously some bad, but just hold tight, like I said here, while I get there. All right, let's just do this here real quick. All right, and get that going. And let me see here. All right, let's go. Okay, let me get back here. All right, get back to StreamYard. I need to get back to StreamYard. Okay, there we go. We go to present. All right, and here's the problem. Major problem. I want to make sure that's showing before anything else. And let me close out some windows here and make sure this is showing on the YouTube side of things first. Hopefully you guys can see that. If not, we're going to have issues. Let me see. Why is that not showing? All right. It looks like it's showing now. But I want to confirm on the YouTube side of things. Just hold tight, everyone, while I get this going. Okay, it looks like it's showing there. Let me see here. What is going on? Just bear with me, guys. I'm having some issues here. And I apologize. This is obviously live and things don't always go according to plan here. Let me just go. All right. I think we're good now. Hold on. All right, it's coming in good. Okay, just want to make sure. I need to make sure first before I continue presenting. So we see what's happening here, right? This is his channel, Justin Harvey, where he puts out some good stuff here, but I definitely have some issues. Here's the top of his page. We are Change Orlando. There's some good stuff here, like I said. He's made a lot of appearances on media with local news. He's done a fantastic job speaking with airline pilots, actually. He does a very good job presenting Flat Earth. Even though he denied Flat Earth initially, he's done some really good work presenting the Flat Earth truth to pilots. And let me see here. I'm going to get to the point here, what I'm getting at. Just scrolling here. Let me take a look. There's a lot of stuff here. But here you see him, like, you know, on media, on NBC News, the local affiliate. There's you know, several times he's been on, more than several times he's been on in the news here, Fox 35 and others. But, you know, also interviewing suspected people within the Flat Earth quote community. And here's an aspect I want to point out. With Scott Kelly twice outside of this theater. I believe one was in Orlando, another time it was in Tampa. But actually, Scott Kelly, the astronaut, responds to him. They have dialogue. It's minimal here, but there's an aspect where Justin Harvey basically confronts Scott Kelly, who's on stage. And here it is right here. And about bubbles in space. So what I'm getting at is, you know, there's interaction with these people, you know, that, you know, they're giving their time, like you want to call them plants or whatever. It's just like Luke. Luke's able to, you know, talk to people like Henry Kissinger, you know, and other big names, Anderson Cooper and so forth, and get interviews. And how does that happen? Because it's set up. It's set up that way. But a huge problem I have, getting to the point here, and I showed it earlier, is, let me get to it here. Where is it? There's a lot of, and here's the thing is, these individuals from what we know in Orlando, we know about Christopher Hansen. So during the dialogue, and maybe I'll just click on this one. I'll just click on this one, but these are all individuals from Orlando. And let me see here. But basically towards the end, I'm not going to play it, but anybody can go here and see for yourself. He's basically telling Christopher Hansen, I'm sorry what happened to you. I don't have this verbatim, like, oh, you're a brave guy, and sorry what went down with this supposed event. So those are real red flags to me. Real red flags. Either you're not fully awake or you work for the other side. It's one of the two, so you guys come to that conclusion. But definitely working with Level with Me with a lot of known shills is highly suspect. Now let's stop that, and we're going to get back to the StreamYard, and we're going to get back to the photo stage. It's going to be should be a quick transition back. So this is the individual, again, on mainstream media. He's on Level with Me with all the well-known shills and flat earth. All right. So again, he's able to have access to a lot of these people, the mainstream media and so forth. So here he is. And this is a segment from what Level with Me. Here you go, Justin Harvey. And here, Wits It Doesn't Get in the back. Another well-known shill, not to be trusted, closely affiliated with, obviously, with Junkyard Jerry and Dumpster Dave. And let's take a listen and see what happens here in this segment of, again, of this recent documentary, Level with Me.
All these people that are actual heroes, these are actors working for a government agency. So,
Next.
hello, I'm going to get one of these signed if that's all right.
And notice this, these are, obviously some that work, NASA astronaut, people work for NASA. And at no point does anybody notice the person filming. This is a production in my estimation. Let's continue on here.
My name is Justin. Yes.
Ian?
Yes, with an IN.
Where are you from, Justin?
Orlando.
You're not far from
Not too far. No, I'm okay on a picture, but thank you. I do have a question though.
Sure.
Sometimes when we're watching the ISS footage, you'll see the astronauts sometimes connected to like wires and harnesses. Is that to keep them like in the frame during the broadcast, or what's the reason for that?
No, I haven't actually. You mean while they're inside the shuttle?
Yeah, like when they're inside the ISS, sometimes during the feeds, the broadcast, you'll see kind of
yes,
pulling on their belts or something like that.
That is.
They never noticed the camera.
Like that.
I have not personally seen that.
Oh, really?
But I know that they try to be still when they're doing
Right.
talking to someone, and then they usually try to release and do like a flip at the
Yeah,
end or something like
because
that.
I've seen the
Yeah.
flip before, and it almost looked like a foot was caught like inside something, but there was nothing really there. It was really strange. I didn't know if there was something to kind of like hold them in place or something.
We never had.
And I'm gonna stop right there. You guys get the gist of it. Bottom line is, this is a perfect production piece for their documentary, and at no time does this NASA employer astronaut ever look. There's someone moving around. You would think, you just out of curiosity, who's filming? Who's that? There's someone moving to the left of you. And at no point does that person look over, because it's just like a movie production. And that's how I see it. And again, a huge issue I have, and this is, what people want to see and hear, and if you're involved with truth. But again, interviewing people like Christopher Hansen, who I've made videos on in the past, we know all about that, and also he believes DeSantis is going to do good things as the governor of Florida. So again, this is the realm of giving you some truth, but there's a lot of questionable things that don't jive if you're really into truth and you really know what's happening, and that's that very simple. So let's go to the next thing here. And here's another issue I have. Moving along to PK. So I'm not going to show it PK's channel. I don't want to take the time to flip just for a second to go to his channel. But basically, for those that don't know, supposedly this doctor who is on the side of everybody that's in truth regarding what's been happening the last couple of years. And PK's promoting this like he was taken out by the CIA, and I've already covered this with Dr. Rashid Buttar. And I pointed this out long ago, always with the symbolism, take a look with the apple in the back and the 999. They always work off this type of symbolism. They tell you who they work for without speaking, without saying with their mouth. They're going to show you through symbolism. And this is repetitive with me, but I really need to hammer this point. So PK's promoting this man like he's a hero. And that says a lot about PK. PK will tell you we live in a ball. John Lennon's a hero, and then promote this guy, unbelievable. But here's a better shot here. And we'll get into Dell in a second. Sometimes that happens. Let me just close this out here with this situation here. Okay, let's take a look here. So you clearly see that. Hopefully you guys can see that with the 666 in plain sight when it comes to, and this is obviously on purpose. Do you really need to have exactly 3 books with, obviously the 3 6s? It's not 2, it's not 4 books. I mean, there's a book there, but showing in this particular scene the 999 or the 666 when it's presented upside down. And like it says in the Bible, how they love to turn things upside down to hide things, and that's what they're doing here. And again, PK's promoting this. I'm just being repetitive. PK's promoting this individual. And again, you only see the 3. You don't see it here. It's just it's cut off here. So definitely we have to be very careful and be careful not to fall in love with personalities. Charm is deceitful. And we need to go where the truth leads us, not with our emotions. Okay, let's move on here. And this is part of the title here when it comes to Eric Dubay, who, here's the thing is, for people that don't know, at the time I appreciated Eric Dubay shared some of my work back in 2015, 2016 on his channel, which I greatly appreciated. At the time, I had no issues until he said things like Jesus never existed and the man with the small mustache was a hero, which is absolute garbage. And here he is with his dad, Roger, who was interviewed with Jason Berm as part of the 9/11 loose change crew. And that just tells you, it's almost like David Hogg and his dad working for the FBI, and there's that connection. There's a connection there always. So it's not like organic Eric Dubay came out of nowhere and is promoted heavily, and that gets into this clip here with another individual. And I hate to say it, but can't be trusted because he's part of the same crew. And I don't get involved with personal information that others put out about Dubay. That's off the table for me. I don't go in the direction of, his girlfriend or this or that. That's to me off the table. I'm just going to stick with the information. So again, I mentioned how Roger Dubay was interviewed on the Info Warrior with Jason Bermas. Jason Bermas, obviously, part of Loose Change, part of a huge part with Alex Jones and InfoWars. And here is, back in 2017, where Eddie Bravo, obviously buddy with AJ, promoting Eric Dubay. So they're going to guide you where to go to get your information. They're going to direct you down the hallway, down the door, and obviously with a tremendous amount of followers, supporters. At the time, 2 million on this channel with AJ, directing people to the controlled op. Let's take a listen here to Eddie Bravo promoting Eric Dubay.
Go to YouTube, look up Eric Dubay's Dinosaurs Don't Exist, and then decide for yourself. And then again, there's Eric Dubay. Again, I just watch his video. There's a video called, this best one is called The History of Flat Earth, and it takes you.
Just going to stop there, but you see what's happening here. And unfortunately, I used to like Eddie. I don't trust him. I've always with the connection with Alex Jones, and that's the unfortunate thing. I'm gonna be very blunt here. I've been hearing. I'm not gonna say how I got this information. I'll just say I got the information. How Eddie was heavily promoting me to Alex Jones to have me come aboard. That never happened. It was supposed to, but never did. It quote fell through for reasons I can't really explain here. But the bottom line, I emailed Eddie. Hey Eddie, let's do a live stream together. No response. So you're gonna promote me to Alex Jones, to AJ, but when I asked you, hey, let's do a live stream together, no response. So, and he responded to some other emails in the past, just a small talk. But when it comes to anything of significance or importance, nope, not going to happen. But you promote me to have me interview or talk to Alex Jones, but you won't talk to me. That's highly, highly suspicious, to say the least. And obviously he won't talk to me, but he has no problems talking to this piece of garbage, Alex Stein. So Eddie, you're just outing yourself by your actions. A guy that basically, messaged me, oh, RV, I made my first truth video, and this is mid 2020. A guy that basically showed up out of nowhere, but you're gonna do an interview with him. And obviously, the third eye. I said it before that God made us with two eyes, and Satanists like to outdo God and give that third eye. It's one upping of God's creation. It's just like with science trying to make a better apple. God already made it perfect. So why is people in science trying to perfect an apple that's already perfect? They're trying to outdo God. I'm getting a little bit off course here, but the bottom line is it's very transparent when you see, AJ with Eddie, buddy. This man's obviously not to be trusted, and anybody he's closely associated with can't be trusted either. If people don't like it, too bad. Are you here for truth or are you here for lies? That's the question. You here for truth or are you here for lies? And I'll say this, I'm going to be very honest here. For the longest time, I knew a lot. Didn't say because I knew I was in a sea of shills. They're controlling both sides of each debate, but I couldn't divulge that at the time. People are like, asking me to do that. I have to pick my timing is everything, and that's a huge thing. That's definitely a huge thing. And I want to get to the aspect of like I said, what it comes down to it. Eric Dubay on his channel, and I believe it's a controlled situation where basically I do agree, obviously, with Eric Dubay's stance on many things. He's a vegan, supposedly a vegan, and also he's anti-Earth moving up. He's a stationary Earth guy. He pushes properly the AE map. So those are a couple things I agree with, but other things like Jesus didn't exist, the man with the small mustache is a hero. So I'm looking at this as a potential, like I said, pantomime with Dell. Is that a fact? No. I don't have the proof of that to be 100%, to be honest, but there's something going on. A lot of connections that are very interesting, but you can definitely look at Dubay's channel and see his video. Obviously, going against Dell. One thing I never understood was Eric Dubay, quote, anti-Mason guy, but he was buddy with Dell for the longest time until recently. So that's why I have in the title Dell versus Eric Dubay, because they're having a disagreement, and it all stems from the Earth supposedly being pushed up, and that gets into Dell right here. Just take a listen here. And Dell's promoting obviously this rocket Earth. He's promoting Earth accelerating, pushing up. I don't want to say accelerate. He said his own words as being pushed up in this frame of reference that we can't see without the frame of reference to verify it, but he's pushing it like it's fact. But just take a listen to Dell here from beyond the imaginary upwards Earth.
Just like the globe earthers, flat earthers, and I'm not using this as a straw man, I'm just using it as a representation. We have an earth, a stationary earth on pillars, but we'll not even get to where it's fixed here or anything like that, or what that even means. We'll just grant them this little idiotic image, right? It's on pillars, right? So we've got an earth. Now what? What is it about this earth? Electromagnetisms and statics and electricity and blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to stop there because this is what he does. He basically makes fun of anybody that goes against anything he says. So people in his chat box, his weed chat box, they have to go along with the program or they're out. And obviously, what it comes down to, again, they're controlling both sides of each debate when it comes to flat Earth and many things in the past, obviously 9/11 and many other things. What I'm getting at is it's either you believe in the spinning ball or this upwards movement of Earth. When it's none of the above, Earth is obviously stationary. Again, I said this in my last video. Water, imagine Earth rocking up, accelerating, being pushed up. And how do you have this precise pushing up of Earth? What's pushing it up? What force is pushing it up in this vacuum of space or whatever Dell's proposing here? What's pushing it up and what's doing it so precisely that we have this level water? It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I get it when people say, why even talk about it? It just shows you, and this is the point what I'm getting at. It shows you and it tells you in the beginning, these individuals will give you some good information. Then they will deviate far, very far from the truth. And that's basically what's taking place here. And in closing on the screen share, I want to share this tidbit with this individual with my Tupac video. People are going to agree or disagree, but definitely the teeth match when it comes to Tupac and the Akil the MC. So for anybody that watched my video presentation on Tupac, where I mentioned about his quote passing and the predictive programming from the music video and so forth, I'm not going to go over every single detail, but basically Tupac really idolized this guy here, this Italian poet, philosopher, writer, and he was Tupac looked at him as highly esteemed. Well, this guy's a Mason, and I showed that in the video, proving that on Masonic websites. So Mr. Tupac, Mr. Anti-Illuminati, anti-establishment is promoting a Mason. So what I'm getting at here is I find this quote from Niccolo Machiavelli pretty interesting. And it basically tells you what's happening today. And this individual, I believe, passed away, was it 400 years ago or whatever it's been. It's been a tremendous amount of time. But I find this quote very interesting. He goes, "No enterprise is more likely to succeed than one concealed from the enemy until it is ripe for execution." So that's what's basically happening now, where everything is submerged. This New World Order, which is really the old world order, they're all working together. Obviously, faking space and faking many, many things, as we know, in this very fake world. So what I'm getting at is, yeah, they're concealing themselves for the right time. Then they will reveal themselves. So again, it's the old world order that's working together now. They've been working together forever, and then it's going to be transparent for the public to see. And this basically highlights this plan has been in play for the longest time. And again, this is someone, quote, that many people, quote, idolize as someone that's anti-Illuminati, anti-Freemason, and Tupac. Absolutely ridiculous. There's no heroes propped up in this world, period. So that concludes the stream, the screen share aspect. I'm going to stop now, take a look at the chat. I appreciate everybody holding tight while I did that presenting. And let's take a look here at the chat itself. And just give me 1 moment. Well, let's take a look at something here. Let's see here. Let me take a look here. I'm going to get to the comment section and what people are saying or questioning or asking momentarily. Let me take a quick peek here. Hold on. Just be about less than a minute. I'll take a look here. All right, let's see here. What do we have here? All right, let me see here. And yeah, and as far as the presentation, I might just upload it separately. I said a hi to a lot of people for about a half an hour, which I always do. And what I'm getting at is I'm probably just gonna, just do a separate video, basically a condensed version of this live stream. And don't forget, everyone, anybody that's tuning in late, I'm going to be, after I conclude here, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and about it's 1 o'clock UK time. I'll be on Flat Earth Banjo's channel talking about, obviously, exclusively Flat Earth. All right, here, let me see here. Yeah, Shinobi, there's no doubt about that. Anybody that's being propped up on the world stage, you can, forget about that. You can forget about them being a hero. It's so very simple. And great to see you in there, Chris. Yeah, you read his book, The Prince. Yeah, I showed that book, The Prince, and that was what was highlighted on a Masonic website. And his surname is 33 numerology as well. And thanks so much for that, Alan. I greatly appreciate that. I thought I'd be a little bit rusty today. It's been about 3 or 4 months since my last stream. So yeah, yeah, maybe actually the break did me some good. All right, what is this about Steve B? They also mentioned Knights Templar information on the book of Secret Show. It was on TV here. Wow. Yeah, they're always going to do that. They've done that on CNN. They actually interviewed Masons, people in Congress. And, like I said, this is the world of duality. Yin and the yang. We're 99% lies, 1% truth. They always have to work in that principle. So to say everything is a lie, that wouldn't be accurate. They always give us hints of truth. And that's just, again, the duality. If they don't, Masons are based on duality. If they don't work out duality, they're no longer Masons. And that's why they do it in that fashion. And thanks so much for that, brother. Plain Steve, I greatly appreciate that so very much. And Jaw Drop, thanks, brother. Been a patron for a long time. Greatly appreciate that. I pray you're well and looking after yourself. Thanks so much. I greatly appreciate that. All right, what's going on here? Hold on here. Let me see here. What's going on here? I need to go to the YouTube side of things. Okay, let's see here. Someone is having a hissy fit, and they need to go somewhere else. Well, if we're talking about Tupac here. Several things. First off, you look at his younger days, definitely, you can see he's like, I'll just say a nice, a girly man, and he was an actor. He took, acting lessons, and when he moved to California, actually, it's kind of strange. He lived, was it Mill Valley there, miles from where I lived, and that's kind of strange. He went from, moved different parts of the U.S., but he lived and went to high school in Northern California. Again, not too far from where I lived, and then went to San Francisco, Oakland, and all that. But yeah, he was definitely connected. And what was her name? Jada Pinkett, or these people in Hollywood, and yeah, definitely they look for people that want to be famous. They're desperately famous and to get the spotlight. And obviously these people do anything to get to, just like Alex Stein. He'll do anything they ask of him as long as he gets his mug on TV. Yeah, some of these people, they'll probably do it for peanuts because they're just attention whores. That's what it comes down to. They have mental problems, and they need it. They want their mug, everybody to see them. And that's the funny thing is, people always talk about me not showing myself. It's obvious because these people don't have a problem with that because they're controlled and there's no danger for them to show themselves. And that's the funny thing is all these people, that think it's like an honor to show their face. So what? Joe Biden shows his face, or supposed face. Barack Obama shows his face. Anderson Cooper shows his face. I guess that means he's trustworthy. You know, that's what Eddie Bravo said too. Oh, there's people out there that put out good information, but we don't know how they look like. So what? So what? Alex Jones puts his face out there. I guess we have to trust him. David Icke, and so forth and so forth. Ridiculous. You know, and that's what the fake truthers love to say. They show their face. That means they're a hero. Wow, really? Everybody in the media, everybody in the mainstream media, on CNN, Fox News, they show their face. So what? The stupidest argument for being legit that's ever been presented. Just plain stupid. Unbelievable. So you mentioned cringy blunder. Oh, that guy's a riot. And he's so very transparent. He has a very interesting accent, you know, different from most in the UK. I understand he's from, I believe, South Wales. I know he's in Wales, but it's very interesting accent. But yeah, the guy's just a circus clown. But I find him very, very funny. You know, he is funny. He's like a clown is funny. That's kind of how I look at cringy blunder. The guy's a riot. Yeah, thanks for that. I greatly appreciate it. RB Lev 1999. Yeah, as far as, here's the thing is, the teeth match. There's no doubt whatsoever. You know, they're both shrimpy little dudes. Both Tupac and what's his name? Akil, the MC. They're both shrimpy little dudes. You know, like I showed in the video with the nose ring and with Tupac, and then the nose is a little bit different, but again, they're gonna have this cosmetic surgery, but they love to put their truth in place, just like my David Bowie video with Jack Stevens. Same thing. It's the same thing that they're doing. But I get it where people are like, hey, they look a bit different. Yeah, they look a bit different, but like I said, the tongue lies, but the teeth don't. You know, just like Bowie. And I'll put that video back up as well. But I greatly appreciate that. Our beloved, I greatly appreciate it so very much. All right, let's see what we got here. Well, you know, as far as Dubay being real, and you know, listen, I like a lot what Dubay puts out there. I'm very honest with my I don't like, for example, if I don't like someone personally, whatever, that doesn't affect what I look at their presentation. Dubay, what he puts out is good, but here's the thing is, it sounds like he's reading off a script, monotone voice. So what you're saying is he does great work. How do you know what he's presenting is not put on a script for him to read? Do you ever see Dubay taking questions on a live stream? I haven't. Maybe he has. I know he's done live streams talking to other people, but as far as taking questions from the audience, just like Mark Sargent will do presentations, but as far as answering questions regarding flat Earth, he usually hands it over to other people. You know, so it's in the same realm. But again, if it's from Dubay or not Dubay, or he's reading off a script, whatever, yeah, there's no denying his flat Earth work. If it's his or if it's a script handed to him, whatever, it's good stuff. But they're, like I said, they control both sides, you know. And there's no denying his dad, Roger, has connections to InfoWars. And like I said, so again, I get it where, you know, you fall in love with him, and, you know, with what he puts out. I get it. It's good. It's good presentation if it's from him or if it's coming from his handlers, and any chance of him being legit, you know, again, it's kind of spoiled when you have his dad connected and being promoted on the AJ show. So that taints it for me. Well, you know, to tell you the truth, I used to like Flat Zoe, but no, no. As far as those two going at it, yeah, whatever, you know. I'll just leave it there. Yeah, Soul Warrior, you say here about they reverse everything. Absolutely, they reverse everything. if the Bible says Earth is fixed, it doesn't move, they're gonna say it moves in one direction. So, like I said, NASA's gonna say we're spinning. Dell's gonna say Earth is moving up with no evidence. And if you go against that, he will. Oh, he just, I seen, like, for example, I was watching a live stream. This one guy TPing a tree, who basically worshipped Dell for the longest time. Swinging off Dell's, what. And then he questioned Dell one thing. Oh, Dell went off on him. And I know for a fact Dell doesn't care about any of his followers. I actually remember a live stream. Someone brought something, and Dell stopped himself. He says, I don't care about any, and he stopped. And they had a little smirk on his face. And he just put the truth out there. He doesn't care about any of his followers, anybody that follows him. Doesn't care at all. Doesn't care about any of his followers. It's like the devil. The devil doesn't care about any of the devil worshipers, the Satanists that follow them. He wants to take them all down, obviously. So that's kind of the same thing. But yeah, obviously Dell will talk about we lived in a contained system, but you bring up the biblical firmament, he'll like, oh no. It's because it's from the Bible. He can't use that. He's literally a Satanist. He named his son after, what was it? Was it Zandor? After what was the middle name of Anton LaVey? So this is how heavily it delves into the occult. Like I said, he's a walking billboard, for the Illuminati, Freemasons, whatever you want to say. So to me, it's so transparent. Oh yes, Charlie Girl, tons and tons. That's what we have here. It's infestation of cons. Yeah, I mean, literally, as far as boring and unoriginal, yeah, it's literally the same stuff, but some things obviously need to be repeated. He's going to put out some good stuff there. There's no doubt about that. That's part of it. It can't be all garbage and lies. But yeah, a lot of his live streams are just, the exact same thing. But I don't have a problem with important things when people, like, for example, myself, I'll put out stuff that's repetitive, but it's important. So the whole live stream can't be repetitive like Dell. Some of his live streams, he might as well just re-upload something he put out the other week, because it's literally almost verbatim the same exact talk. Yeah, that's the thing. Dell does sound drunk, and he's hard to take seriously. Obviously the intimidation, the emotion. And here's the thing is, I have it from good authority. Someone that knew Dell from his childhood there in Scotland. Basically he wasn't accepted because he has that German background, and he's a big dude, and he was bullying a lot of people, and he was not a nice guy. And this is coming from someone that knows Dell from going back to their high school days. So he was not nice, to say the least. And what's funny is, we all know this. He's the duality person, because when he's on the streets, he's so calm, he's so articulate, he's so nice, so friendly. He's like the nice guy in the world. And when he steps in the shed, he turns into the demon that he is. You got to be consistent. If you're on the street, why are you being so sweet and nice to people on the street, Dell? Then when you're in your shed, you transform into this monster. It just tells me he's like an act. He's not in the up and up, not legit. You got to be the same person. Like people that know me in my personal life, and they know me from here on YouTube, I'm the same person. I don't change who I am when I'm out and about in the streets. What you see is what you get. With Dell, it's, again, you get a different character. Just watch his past streams. He's so nice and so friendly on the streets, doing street interviews. And then again in the shed, it's a whole different animal. And that just tells you it's almost like Wimpy Weiss. When Wimpy Weiss talks to people at the Flat Earth conferences, he's a proud flat earther. When he talks to CNN, oh, I'm ashamed. I don't want to be a flat earther. Who wants to be called stupid? Why are you concerned with what normies think if you're a real truther, Dave? Maybe I'll share that too for those that have not seen it. I think it's really important to point out this aspect. Let me see here. I showed this before, but I think it's really important to highlight. I definitely want to highlight this. I'm going to highlight this forever, actually. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. It just shows that these individuals are chameleons, you know, and I'm going to show that right now. Let me, hopefully no ad pops up here. Let me see here. This shows up. Yeah. So here we go. And hopefully, let me see. I want to make sure that now no ad pops up. So I have to take off. Let me see here. Just bear with me, everyone. Extension. Let me see here. All right. Let me do that. Only be a second here. So I want to make sure this goes through properly. All right. Let's see here. Let me maybe get this a little bit larger there. Okay. There we go. I think that's good. All right. All right. Here we go. I'm going to share this right now. All right. Let's do this. Okay. I'm going to remove that and I'm going to present right now. Yeah, like I said, I showed this before, but there we go again with these ads. So this is what I want to present here, and this is from 2019. Okay, here we go with these ads here. Hold on, let me take a look here, make sure it's showing up properly. All right, let's do the best we can. Let me actually go to the full screen here. Let me see what's going on here. Let's go. This is gonna. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. So this is Wimpy Wise, deep inside the rabbit hole. David Weiss here, and this is a CNN interview. The flat Earth conspiracy is spreading around, quote, the globe. And let's get right to it here. So this is what Wimpy Weiss says to CNN in the very beginning here. I don't want to be a flat earther. David Weiss says he's weary as he reflects on his personal awakening. Would you wake up in the morning wanting people to think you're an idiot? So what's the deal here, Wimpy Weiss? Why are you concerned what normies think? Why would you compare? Why would you worry about that? Why would you be concerned what a normie says? We got some pop-ups here. Why would you be concerned what normies think or say if you're a truther? You're concerned. Can you guys see that or not? Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me try to get this larger here. I don't think it's showing up like I want here. Let me do that. Okay, let's see. Maybe that's better there. All right, maybe that's better there. Okay, let me get back. I apologize. Like I said, obviously this is live, and hopefully you guys can see that good. But anyways, I'm like I said, so David Weiss does all these flat smacking, but he's embarrassed to be a flat earther. I don't want anybody to think I'm an idiot, but you're doing flat smacking. You go to flat earth conferences, you take money from flat earthers, but you don't want to be a flat earther. It says it right there from his interview. I don't want to be a flat earther. That's because he's doing it for the money. This was proposed to him to obviously take this role, just like a lot of these people. And that's what's happening. And people need to understand this. You're not working with a real flat earther. It's a job. And how do I know that? People like PK, people like David Weiss, they don't want to talk on the phone about truth at all. On Skype, they don't want to talk about it. It's like their job. Once they're done, they want to log off. I'm going to tell you guys something about PK when he was going through quote issues in Australia, and he's supposedly arrested for making truth videos. Supposedly, how can you be arrested, brought to the police station for making truth videos? What law is that breaking? He's excuse, oh, I was scared. I didn't know. I just went. Yeah, right. So what I'm getting at is this. I was talking to him after the live stream, and he was all emotional, crying. And I was talking to him. He goes, and we're talking. He goes, Ben, I got to go now. I got to go play golf. No tears, no more tears, no more sorrow, no more sadness. I got to go play some golf. Yep, that's what you're dealing with. It's just an act. It's just a show. And obviously, we all know PK is an admitted actor. It's funny how actors, former rappers, musicians, people like Alex Stein, people that want to be comedians or want to be famous on reality shows, like I said, rappers, ODD TV. All these people come out of the entertainment industry. You know, it's just amazing how that works. And people don't get it. Because you know why? That's all they have is a bunch of failed actors and failed musicians that they're listening to. You know, and there could be potentially people that just, you know, insert themselves in truth because, you know, it's a clickbait. It's something where they didn't make it as a musician. They, you know, this is another way to be, quote, famous, and they're doing it on their own. Whatever the case is, they're doing it for the wrong reasons. I'm going to stop sharing this and get back to the chat. Let me stop the screen here. But I think it's a real important point to make with Wimpy Weiss, so-called flat earther. Doesn't want to be a flat earther. That just doesn't jive with me. It doesn't make sense. It's like saying a Christian, oh, I really don't want to be a Christian, but I'm a Christian. Okay, that makes sense. Freed Marina, you know, the whole wrestling channel, yeah, I didn't bring that up. Yes, I grew up a huge wrestling fan, and that's kind of like my junk food, you know, my escape, because you know what? That channel, there's no stress. It's just like, you know, to me, it's like going back in a time machine. That's why it's called the Wrestling Time Machine. It's like going back in the past, you know, and that type of thing. And, you know, that's something I enjoyed when I was younger. You know, I don't watch it all today at all. None of it. It's just nostalgia for me. And that's what it comes down to. All right, let's take a look here. And I greatly appreciate everybody hanging around. In about a little bit, about an hour and 10 minutes, I'll be joining Flat Earth Banjo. And actually, I should show that. I should go back to, I'm going to show this because really important to understand. I'm going to be on this channel in about an hour's time. Let me actually present that. I need to keep that presented. So, because I'm going to be joining him, like I said, relatively pretty soon. So yeah, and here's Eddie Flat Earth Banjo for anybody joining in late. I'm going to go to his channel, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UK time. I'll be speaking with Flat Earth Banjo. In a little bit more than an hour. You think? Jose. Bullseye. All right. All right, let's see what else we got here. Indiana, great to see you in there. Another sub to yeah, absolutely it's not. But still, you know, it's part of my childhood. I used to go to a lot of wrestling matches in San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose. You know, watched all the time. This is way back. You know, a friend of mine back in 1983 or 82 or 83 got me into it, you know, when I was in grade school. All right, let's see what we have here. Oh, great to see you in there, Barry, in New Zealand. Fantastic. You know, I don't know when you joined in there, but good to see you in there. Yeah, Plain Steve, it was the best. 80s, listen, once WCW went out of business, forget it. You know, and they had the invasion angle. It was horrible. They were never going to promote WCW. Only like guys like Goldberg and a few others. Then the rest were going to job out to WWF guys. Yeah. Yeah, I actually met Macho. Macho Man back in, was it 1997? You know, I met him actually in Millbrae, California, back in 1997. Yeah, Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, he wasn't much of a wrestler, but he had a lot of persona, but not much of a wrestler at all. But he had a great entrance. But after that, it was pretty much it. Oh yeah, it's not watchable now. I don't bother to watch AEW or WWE. It's garbage. All of it's garbage. Not worth my time. Yeah, actually, April's Dusty Roads, as in like Rhodes. Yeah, but that's close enough, April. Yeah, thanks for that, Ryan. I greatly appreciate that. I'm going for a little bit more. I want to see who else is in the chat here. Yeah, I used to like the Royal Rumbles. Those were cool. Yeah, getting yourself there. All right. Yeah, and definitely. Oh, Chris, that's the huge thing. When I had the podcast with Chris Jericho, I mentioned all that Eric Bischoff, the New World Order created by Ted Turner. I laid it all out. Demolition versus the Twin Towers, all these kind of things I laid out to Chris Jericho. Thanks for that, Drobina. I appreciate that. And good to see you in there, Milani Moran. Good to see you in there. It's been a while. Chris M, yeah. Ric Flair. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in there, Lone Truth. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Attitude Era is pretty good. Attitude Era, that's when it ended. After that, it became garbage. It became garbage. And I still see Ramina. Good to see you in there. Glad you're still here. No worries. I'm still here. I'll still be here for a little bit longer. I need to take a break before I join Flat Earth Banjo. And again, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, and 1 a.m. UK time. Yeah, he does. Flat Earth Banjo is a great dude. He's like, I'm really weeding people out. Flat Earth Banjo, and as far as doing live streams moving forward, there's few people on the same page with me, and that's the unfortunate thing, and that's the reality. I want to really stick with people that I'm on the same page with, because I don't like when I have people aboard as guests and then I see them put out work that I totally disagree with. And I'm like, wow, I had this person on my channel and they're pushing something that's absolutely fake as real. And it's just, yeah, it's not a good feeling. Trust me. Thanks, Rubin. I greatly appreciate that. Thanks so very much. But yeah, like I said, the foundation is people watching people on YouTube for a long time, and people shift who they follow, and again, you need to keep people at task. Nobody's perfect. Everybody is flawed, but when people are pushing things that are, they're consistent for a while and they go off course, you got to stay in the road and leave them in the ditch, and don't follow them down that false road. Yeah, El Desperate says David Weiss talks about God, but tries to avoid the name of Jesus Christ. He says God, but which God? There's multiple gods. There's the Buddhist God, of course. There's many deities, and that needs to be made clear, and that's part of Freemasonry too. To be a Mason, that's one thing people need to understand about Freemasonry. To be a Mason, you have to believe in a deity. Doesn't matter which one. So, but the reason for that is, people might ask, why would they do that? Because atheists are not welcome, because they want to, whatever religion you are, whatever God you believe in, they want to convert you to Lucifer. So they just flip it and bring you to Lucifer. That's why they do it that way. All right, here, let's see here. %. Anybody that can't see through Wimpy Weiss, they're like, wow, he's the most, like, he doesn't know where his son works. He says, I don't know where my own son works. He said that like in like a live stream 6-7 years ago, and then recently said the same thing. I don't know where my son works. It's like he's mocking people, like, I don't know. How can you not know where your son works? Say if something happened and you don't know where your son works, really? So yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to this: when these deceivers know their followers are dumb, they'll just like, these people are so stupid, I'm going to keep lying to them. They're going to believe whatever I say. And that's Weiss, that's Jaron, that's a lot of these people. They know their followers are dumb. And that's the same thing with fake Jake. I've heard from someone that used to be close with him, said, yeah, he used to make fun of his followers that were giving super chats and these kind of things, and saying how dumb his followers were. Because he even says that. He goes on there and says, I'm just acting, I'm just an actor, right? This is all just an act. He keeps saying that, and his followers don't get it. And what's really disturbing is, I didn't mention this, and I totally forgot, was the passing Bob from Glowbuster. I'm not saying that one is not legit, but I'm not going to talk bad about someone that's deceased, but the reality is he was working for the other side. He was CIA Bob. And one thing that really bothered me was Billy Zig, my good brother in Australia. He went on a live stream with that gaggle of fakers. And he went on there to tell Cammie, Bob's, wife or widow, like, hey, I'm sorry what happened. And I'm so sorry. She goes, look, I don't need your sympathy. I don't want that. I was like, wow, really? That's the kind of like people you're dealing with. I don't need we don't want your sympathy. Really? Okay. Even if you don't want sympathy, don't say that. You don't need it. Someone's being very polite, very respectful, and you're saying, I don't want your sympathy in a very callous way. Are these people even human? I don't know. But it's just, and later, Jaron's at, Jaron, like a live stream later, was telling his followers, hey, I want you all right now to go to Cash App and send me $1 each. Every single one. I'm like, really? You might as well be in a street corner selling your butt, Jaron. It's unbelievable. He would be telling his subscribers, all of them, to send him, all of you, because he has like 150,000 subscribers. So he's thinking, if I get $1 from each of them, I'm going to be rich. So he's telling all of them to send $1. I'm like, wow, that's e-begging, and I never, at any point tell anybody something, anything. Actually, I put a post, look, if you're hurting, don't send anything. I don't want anybody to send any money if you're hurting, don't send a penny. Simple as that, and this is not a business. This is, yeah, I spent a lot of time doing research, making videos, live streams, whatever, but it's up to you. I'm not going to ever tell anybody, hey, you got $1 to spare. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's insulting, So everybody out there should be able to watch anybody. And one thing about me is I'll never put a pay window or membership onto my channel. Like, you have to be a member to watch this video. Absolutely not. I never do that. I don't want to do that. I don't. It doesn't feel right. It's not right, and it doesn't feel right. It's not right because it doesn't feel right to do that, to make people, and that's how I feel. That's how I feel. All right, let's take a look here. What we have in the comments here. Yeah, and that's another thing. Jose Reyes, I'm glad you brought that up, because people need to understand this. Not only did Wimpy Weiss steal the idea for the Flat Earth app from Stinky Cash, also he stole the Friend Finder idea from Zoom Truth. So I look at Wimpy Weiss and Fake Jake as the same. They take ideas from others, they repackage it. They don't put anything out original. So this is how it works. Like myself, I originally came onto YouTube through my own research, making videos. Being here, there was very few truthers on YouTube at all. So I dug myself. So what happens is people got into it a little bit later, and their research is other people's research. A prime example, Fake Jake took my whole live stream with his friend and showed my live stream to his audience. And, pause here and there, talk through it. But He said, and I asked him, why are you doing that? He goes, oh, it makes it easier. You have everything lined up. I'm like, no, do your own work. It's plagiarism. Being lazy. Unbelievable. And then he has the audacity to talk bad about me when he takes my work. Then he makes lies, tells flat out lies, pun intended. That's the funny thing is too, is all the people that try to debunk the AE map and the circling sun, such as Fake Jake, such as what's his name? I forgot the guy's name. I think he's in Denmark, not Denmark, in Holland, the Netherlands. I forgot the guy's name. Anyways, he has a thick accent. He does all these videos trying to debunk the circling sun. Nobody can debunk God's created flat earth with the circling sun, like I showed. And I'll just show it real quickly here. I know I have Flat Earth Banjo that I'm promoting for that coming live stream, but like I said, with this strip, this area where you have all these tropical trees and plants, these trees, like coconut palms, will not survive, in California. They just make it on for example, tip of Florida and Mexico. They will not survive in California. They will not produce coconuts. I mean, if maybe you have it under a greenhouse, but I'm saying in the natural environment. And that obviously depicts, like I showed earlier, the circling sun with a tropical area in this region. That's the only way that can happen. So when Fake Jake talks about, but people in Australia, they see the sun going, southeast or southwest, deviating towards Antarctica. No, it needs to remain this path. So what you view is one thing from your personal perspective, but the reality is we know this is the tropical area of the world where you have all the tropical plants, the rainforest, like in Brazil, the parrots living, all these, tropical type animals and plants, everything. So to make people believe that, like he stole from somebody else, this is not even his artwork; it's from some other guy. That the sun goes, in this direction from Australia where it sets. Absolutely ridiculous. So what I'm getting is nobody debunked it. I'm trying to remember that guy's name. Maybe somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking about. Let me take a look here. Who's the guy in the Netherlands? Someone out there. The guy that has a heavy accent, and he tries to make videos debunking the circling sun. What was that guy's name? I don't remember. Maybe someone in the chat will remember this guy's name. Anybody out there remember this guy who know what I'm talking about? Maybe I'll just give up trying to ask. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Oh, there we go. I can't believe thanks, Chris. I forgot. Q and Fee tries to debunk the circling sun. And guess what? After I presented the circling sun, showing through heat, it proves we have that circling sun. Nobody could debunk it. So this is what they do. They try to be very complex, math equations, all these different charts. But I make it so very simple. The truth is simple. And what liars do, they make their lives very complicated that most people can't comprehend or understand. So it comes down to it, quote, smart people, they deceive, quote, I don't want to say it, but ignorant or dumb people. And people are like, well, I don't understand what he's saying. He's very well spoken, so he must be telling the truth. So I'm going to believe him. So yeah, Q and Fee, none of them can debunk it. None of them. They can just make up lies or make math equations or this or that, but there's no debunking all the tropical regions that circle. Like, for example, let me get back here. I deal a lot with agriculture. So say, for example, let's get to the U.S. Like I said, the tip of Florida, Puerto Rico, Cuba, this is where you grow a lot of mangoes, avocados, soursop. There's trees that will not grow in the U.S. that are in this region. Like durian. Durian will not grow and produce fruit anywhere in the U.S. The exception is maybe Miami in a greenhouse or something like that. That's because it's restricted to tropical zones, Southeast Asia, like I said, Cuba, South, it can grow in South America, Costa Rica, these kind of regions. And also, I should mention Northern Australia, where you can grow a lot of tropical things. Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Southern China. This is the regions where you can grow tropicals. And again, so there's no debunking God's circling sun. Absolutely not. All right, let's get back here. And thanks again for that, Chris, because I was struggling. Sometimes I'm very bad with names, so that's nothing new. Yeah, I see Ceiling Fan Man. Good to see you in there. What happened to Rethink here? I didn't see that, but hopefully, Rethink, you're doing okay there. I'm sorry to hear whatever you're going through. Sorry to hear that. Shinobi says native plants are key. There are no weeds. They label them weeds because they are superfoods. Look up weeds and see their benefits. Yeah, and obviously weeds are, they grow through concrete. It's amazing. They're pretty amazing. They're very durable. Let me see here. Oh, it's great to see Karen Lee in there. Good to see you in there, Karen Lee. And for anybody joining a bit late, I'm going to repeat it again. I'll be joining Flat Earth Banjo on his channel at the top of the hour, wherever you're located. Soul Warrior. Yeah. So, I'm going to read what you said. Wimpy Weiss is tired, so he came up with the brilliant idea to take a rest on a ladder backwards. What a goofball. And Jaron always asking for money, a few bucks, like a scumbag that he is. Yeah. And then Witsit is pathetic. He goes, he's like Jaron and Witsit have the same lines. If I don't get enough donations, I might have to quit. They're not going anywhere. They're like, they're hoping they're following. I better send them money. I don't want them to leave. Please leave. They're not going to leave. And here's what it comes down to: these people, what they make on YouTube is crumbs to what they're really getting, and that's what it comes down to. But yeah, getting back to Wimpy Weiss, he was very defensive about the ladder, standing on it backwards. So it's funny because first Wimpy Weiss says the ladder was there because he wanted to go on top of the roof and look at the solar panels in his flip-flops, supposedly. But the problem is, earlier, Alex Stein said, the ladder's there because they have nowhere to put it. Then Wimpy Weiss then says he was tired. So they gave 3 different reasons why the ladder was there. They were scrambling for excuses. 3 different excuses in the span of 2 minutes. Unbelievable. Yeah, brother. Hey, they're demons, all right. They're demons, sellouts. But what they don't understand, a lot of people don't understand, is these sellouts, selling their soul for fame, fortune, bucks, or whatever. It's not worth it. Absolutely not. All right, let's see here. That's right, Charlie. Go. Definitely. The shills get to me. Yes, dandelions are very good. What's that one tea? Chamomile tea is fantastic as well. All right, Brian Brown, great to see you in there, brother, as always. And no worries there, Rethink Inc. No worries. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to close up pretty soon. Like I said, I got to take a break, and then I have to join Flat Earth Banjo, top of the hour. So I just want to take a quick peek here and see. I see RT with you. What about Arwen? Arwen's here? Yeah, Aleko, unfortunately. Yeah, he does some good stuff, but something about, RES, he's been around for a while. Something about him is off. By the way, kind of reminds me of Rise of Melbourne, who's a great dude. Let's not get them confused. Because Rise Melbourne is a brother in Australia. Fantastic, fantastic dude. Great supporter. And my great brother here, Bobby Zins, who's been so very helpful behind the scenes, doing artwork for me for Rockfin. And Rockfin is just, to be honest, it's not for me. It's just too many issues. The live streams just never work out. They deal with crypto, which I'm not about at all. And they didn't tell me until after I joined. And that was a real deal breaker, trying to pull me in with, and I'm still there. I mean, I still put up some things there, but, it's there, but I'm not going to be, obviously putting up a ton of content there because, just the way things are set up. And nothing personal. It's just, that's the direction I plan to go. Because, like Jared and Wimpy Weiss, they push crypto as well. And yeah, I just don't like that idea. Yeah, and you said it too. I apologize. I didn't see that. You put Q and fee. Sorry about that. I didn't catch that till a bit later. But there's no debunking God's circling sun. Absolutely nothing they can do about it. Nothing. Yep. All right, then. I'm going to close out now. I got to take a break because, in 45 minutes, I have to join. Not have to. I'm going to join Flat Earth Banjo. Let me show that one last time here on the screen share here. Let me this one here. Yeah, there's Flat Earth Banjo right there. So definitely, hopefully I'll see you guys over there as well. I want to thank Ramina and all my moderators for helping out with the goons and the trolls. All my brothers and sisters. I don't want to leave anybody out. Plain Steve, everybody else. I greatly appreciate Charlie Girl, Svetoslav, everybody. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And more than likely, I'm going to re-upload the share aspect of this live stream in the near future, just to get right to the information. And hopefully I'll see a bunch of you on Flat Earth Banjo's channel in 45 minutes. You all take care and have a good night. And hopefully see you soon. And God bless.